In the last video, I showed you how to set up cursor with Shopify. In this one, I'm actually going to show you how to build a real section with it. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to structure a section with boilerplate code. You'll learn how to prompt your first section and review cursor generated code. You'll also learn how you can quickly see all the data inside of Shopify using a Chrome extension. And lastly, we'll put that data to use and we'll reference it within our custom section. So without further ado, let's hop into the monitor. Alrighty, in our last tutorial, we went over how to set up Shopify CLI, how to set up GitHub, and also just how to get cursor up and running with a proper Shopify development workflow. In this video, we're going to learn how to build this section here and how to pull in dynamic data into this section depending on the template we are on. With that being said, I have opened up cursor and my development Shopify store, and I've ran my Shopify CLI by doing Shopify theme dev -- store and then the handle of my store, which can be accessed over here in the URL. Now to develop this section, I like to start with some boilerplate, and it comes from this example section over here. In this example section, we'll have liquid at the top where we can define our variables. Then we have these style tags where we can enter CSS. Then we have this div where we can enter in our content. Then we have JavaScript tags where we can enter in JavaScript here if needed. Then we just have a little bit of schema. If you're interested to learn more about schema, I highly recommend you check out another video on my YouTube channel where I go over the basics of a Shopify section. But as a quick refresher, we have a name in the schema, we have a name for the preset, which is essentially when we add it, and over here inside our Shopify theme customizer, we can select the section, and then we have some settings where we can start to define the different settings over here in the Shopify theme customizer. With that being said, you can copy this code over from the paste bin in my YouTube description and create a new section in your theme called custom text. I've already created that section here, so I'll just copy and paste this code in. Now we are going to create a new agent and we are going to prompt our way with our first section. Now we are going to prompt our way through our first section. So we are going to say, add an image with text to this section and rename it to custom text with image. We're going to hit enter, and then now you should start to see cursor do its magic. Awesome. So as we can see here, this is the suggestion from cursor. If we go over into our theme, we'll just have to refresh it. Now we can hit add section and we can go over into our custom text with image section. And it gave us a really rough starting point. I don't like that red, so I'm just going to quickly modify that. And we'll notice that since there's an image that is blank, we can drop in our own image. So I'll hit done here. And that is the start of our section. I'll just remove my demo section above just so we don't get confused between the two. And just like that, it seems like it really did a good job filling this section in. Now we can either choose to keep parts. Well, typically we can choose to keep only parts of the cursor suggestion, but since cursor basically overwrote this whole file using our structure, we can either just hit keep within cursor here or keep down below here within the prompt. So I'll hit keep. Awesome. Now at this point you can begin to, edit the CSS or the styles yourself, or you can even continue to prompt within cursor and change around the styles. At the time of recording, I'm using Sonnet 4.6, but honestly, any of these models are pretty good, including GPT 5.4. Now, as we can see here, this is pretty much the bare bones of a section. There's no dynamic data or necessarily anything special with it. If you're fairly new to Shopify, you can actually pull in dynamic data based off of templates using this Chrome extension here called JSON formatter. And so if we have that Chrome extension installed, we can go over into any one of our products, and then within the URL area, just right past the URL, we can type in .json. And what that'll do is expose all the different data that we can access within our template. So for example, we have this product title here for Botanic Brush Face, and I want to reference that title. If I go back into my theme, we'll notice that we're pulling in a theme setting over here, but instead of pulling in a theme setting, I could actually comment this out and then type in product.title. So over here, if I do product.title and then hit save and then refresh the page, you'll notice that our title isn't being brought in. And that's because we're not actually on a product template. So what we can do is actually copy this section. So I'll go over to the 3 dots, hit copy, and go over to our products. I'll go over into our default product template and right click and then paste in the section. Now you'll notice that I'll have to hide this ugly section above, but within this custom text with image section, now it's actually pulling in the name of our product. And this product is actually called Luna Speckle Vase. Now we could do the same thing with, our description. We could type in product.description and so on. Now, if you wanted to reference, the product object not on a product page, you can also add a product setting within here, but I'll save that for another video. We can also pull in dynamic data for collection pages and regular pages. So if I go back over into Shopify, we can go over into collections. And for example, we can go into our homepage collection, and then up top here, I can do the same thing. I could do .json, and you'll notice that we're able to pull in title, updated at, product count, and even description if we have it filled in here. In this case, description is called body HTML. So if we take our same section over here, and I'm just going to copy it, I can go over into collections and then into our default collection. And I'll just hide the main default collection section for now. And then I will paste in the section that we created together. And I'm actually going to remove the image just because it doesn't necessarily make sense here. And you'll notice that right now we don't have a title in here because we're still pulling in product.title, but we can actually pull in collection.title. So if we go back over here, instead of product, we can type in collection.title and hit save. You'll notice now it's pulling in the collection title of the collection that we wanted to reference, which is the homepage collection. You can also do the same with product pages, and honestly, the list can go on. But long story short is once you have this JSON formatter extension, you can go into product pages, collection pages, standard pages under not content, but online store and pages. And you can go into any page, for example, this one here, type in .json, and you'll be able to find the data for the page and so on. Anyways, that is it for today's video. Let me know if you're interested in any other lessons within how to develop Shopify sites with Cursor. I do have a bit of a log of other lessons that I want to teach, going over meta fields and Tailwind and more advanced methods to creating sections. But at the end of the day, within this lesson and the past one, you should have a pretty good understanding of how to set up a professional Shopify environment, along with how to prompt your way through your first section using Cursor. Anyways, hope you found this video useful. If you did, drop me a comment, and cheers.